Saturday night, big night for the sport, for the UFC. Of course, we had the middleweight title fight. We had the strawweight title fight. Everyone buzzing over what happened in the co-main event, not so much in the main event, but those were two of the bigger stories. Perhaps the third biggest story is what allegedly happened between Brian Ortega and our old pal Jay Park. You remember Jay Park, right? He joined us when the Korean Zombie was on the show about a month ago. We introduced him as Korean Zombie's translator, but he's much more than that. He's a Korean-American, multi-platinum hip-hop artist. Man is one of many talents and very popular all over the world. Trust me, I've learned about this, especially since his last appearance on the show. Very talented, has many great talents, and is very, very popular all over the world, not just in Korea. And he was on the program, and unfortunately, Brian Ortega, and how do I know this? Well, he wrote about it on his social media on multiple occasions, was unhappy with some of the things that Jay Park had to say in the interview. But a reminder, he was translating for the things that the Korean Zombie was actually saying in the interview. In case you missed it, in case you may have forgotten about it, here's a quick reminder of that exchange from about a month ago on the program.
So he said, it doesn't matter Holloway, Volkanovski, Ortega, but Ortega already ducked him one time. So he doesn't need to fight a fighter that's ducking him already.
Dang, I didn't know Zombie had this in him. This is great stuff. This is some good trash talk.
I didn't know he had it in him either. This is the first time I'm seeing this. This is kind of crazy.
And so that's what happened on the program. This is what happened in the aftermath. Brian Ortega writing this: when I saw him in Korea, he apologized and said, sorry for the trash talk. And I said, all good, because at least you came at me like a man. Now you just expletive dog. Jay Park, welcome to the fight game. Don't be surprised if I slap the expletive out of you when I see you. Having an injury and ducking are two very different things. Jay Park then responded to Brian Ortega and said, don't shoot the messenger/translator. Can't blame the man for trying to shake expletive up and get a title shot. Plus, he got the performance to back it up. Respect you for pulling up to Korea for press, but it's Team Zombie all day. And then Brian Ortega responded to that comment and said, in acts of war, careful who you message for. Don't let me see you. As for Zombie, I'll see you too. So the Korean Zombie was in attendance on Saturday at T-Mobile Arena, as was Jay Park. They were there to watch UFC 248, and allegedly, according to a number of eyewitness accounts, there was a bit of an altercation. So we wanted to have Jay Park on the show to explain what happened from his point of view. And there he is. Jay Park now joining us as an actual guest on the program. Last time he was there in support of the Korean Zombie, acting as his translator. Now he's the actual featured guest. Jay, thank you for doing this. How are you?
How you doing, Ariel?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for coming on the show. And I do want to mention off the top that I also asked Brian Ortega for his side of the story on multiple occasions via text message, but he hasn't gone back to me. He responded on Saturday with just a haha. On Monday, he did not respond. So I want to make note of the fact that I asked him for his side. I wanted to get both sides of the story. But first, tell me what happened from your perspective. Can you tell us your side?
I was literally just, very jet lagged because I just got in from Korea a couple of days ago, and so I was very jet lagged. To be honest, I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I just translated. I've never put words in Zombie's mouth. I've never put up a caption for him. I've never told him to trash talk. Like I have a lot of respect for fighters. They put everything on the line. They train hard. They fight for their their family. They put their bodies on the line for our entertainment, and they fight for their families and stuff like that. So I have a lot of respect for fighters, and I was actually a fan of Brian Ortega. Like I followed him on Instagram. Like I was actually a fan of dude. I followed him after the Max Holloway fight, and just because of how much heart he showed. And so, like, if he was to fight Zombie, of course I'm Team Zombie. That's my guy. Like that's my guy. So of course I'm gonna root for Zombie. And so when we did your show, I was just, of course, I'm a big fan of MMA. I know a lot about MMA. Also, I was trying to bring more attention to Zombie, which is good for the featherweight division in general. So it's good for Brian Ortega. So I don't know what he was tripping about. He was getting mad for no reason. And then so I didn't pay him no mind. He was there, cool. Like, but I was just chilling. I was just, I was jet lagged, spacing out. And then when Zombie went to the bathroom, all of a sudden I see it's like someone like pull up and then they're like, he's like, "Hey dog, are you Jay Park?" And it kind of just caught me by surprise. And I was like, "Yeah." And as I stood up, he like smacked me. And like as I was standing up, he smacked me. And so it was very narrow. It was very narrow, and so there was chairs behind me, and so I kind of fell back, and then I got up and I pushed him, and like whatever. There's like a little scuffle, whatever, and then people broke it up. But it was just weird. It was just a very weird, awkward. Like what? I don't know why he's. I really don't know why he's mad at me. Like he's supposed to be fighting Zombie, but like why? I don't know. It was just weird. It was just a weird situation.
Did he hurt you?
I mean, nah. I mean, no. I mean, it was like to be honest, to be completely honest, my jaw is a little stiff. But nothing too serious. No. I mean, it's just weird. He's like the number two guy in the world. Like he's a UFC professional fighter. Like what is he doing coming and attacking me? Like I could understand if I was talking shit or if I was like, yo, yeah, or if I was egging him on or whatever. But I was a fan of the dude. Like I was following him on Instagram. Like, what do you? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like it was just a really bad representation of himself. Like it was not a good look for him, bro.
And just to be clear, from the best of your knowledge, as far as I know, it happened very quickly. But as far as your memory tells you, like, was it an open hand slap or was it a punch? What do you remember?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a punch.
Okay.
It was like a smack with his palm.
Okay.
So I don't know. If he's really mad about the translation, I don't know what to tell him. Like it was a translation. Like I don't know what to tell him. Like if you're mad about that, yo, you got to get thick as skin. Like it wasn't even like some type of disrespectful like he's talking about his family or anything. He was just it's like with the fight game. Like if you're trying to kind of promote yourself, try to sell the fight, you gotta make things interesting, and that's what Zombie was kind of lacking before. I mean, of course, I've told him to be more vocal, but I've never told him to to say something or to whatever. I've never ever put words in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, and even the thing he posted yesterday,
Mm.
I didn't translate that for him. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a manager in the States. He has a fight camp in the States. Like like there's people that can translate. He has a lot of people that translate stuff for him. But it's what he wants to say. We never put words in his mouth.
Yeah, and we're showing that message yesterday, and I saw some of the comments were like, "Oh, Jay wrote this for him. He would never speak like that." But you're saying you had nothing to do with this lengthy statement that he
No.
posted on social media yesterday, and this came from him. Like, obviously, someone's translating it for him, but he's well aware of what is being written here. This all came from him. You're saying?
Of course, we we're not like puppet masters. Like we can't we don't want to tell somebody like we don't ever want to put words in somebody's mouth because we want him to be him. We want him to be authentic. We want him to be real. Like we don't want him to be some kind of character. Like he doesn't need to do that. Like of course he's being more vocal now and he sees the reaction. I think yesterday was not even for reaction. It was just what he's really feeling. But when it comes to when he being on your show and trying to get what is it? Try to kind of get Volkanovski's attention and the UFC's attention. Yeah, he'll be more vocal, but it's not something that we're telling him to do, or I don't even know his password. Like I don't know his
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It's weird because one of my homies sent me an interview that he had done last year, and so he was like, yeah, Korean Zombies. He's not really a trash talker, but I heard he signed to some guy like Jay, whatever, and ever since then, I think he's writing stuff for him. So I think somebody or the fans or something, he has this false narrative in his mind that I'm the one like, like on Zombie's IG, or I'm the one like, being the puppet master behind Zombie, but it's not like, and so it's just so it's just very weird, very, very weird, very just corny that he just kind of like came out of nowhere and just attacked me. It was just weird. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
And I'm sure you've gone back to that original interview that drew his ire. Do you? I obviously don't speak Korean, but do you stand by the translation? Because I've seen other people say that, oh, you didn't translate it 100% like what he said. You threw in your. Was that an accurate translation of what
So
Zombie said?
so Ariel, so he said, okay, Ortega already pulled out. So I don't need to find someone that already pulled out, which basically means like, yo, like, like he said it in like a mischievous way. So
Okay.
like when I got that, when I heard that, I translated like, oh yeah, he's ducking him, like he pulled out. Like, if I mistranslated, I apologize. That's my bad. I'm not a professional translator. I was doing it to bring more attention to Zombie and to just and plus I'm a fan of the show. I watch the show every week, man. That's why I wanted to be on it. If I mistranslate, that's my bad. But it's still like it wasn't what I was trying to put in his mouth. Like that's what he was insinuating. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So I was just trying to translate to the best of my ability, basically.
After the altercation, do you remember what happened? I've seen a couple of videos where it seemed like Ortega was escorted out. Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess he got escorted out, whatever, and then Zombie came back from the bathroom with his wife, and yeah, I mean, and then they're like, "What happened?" And I was just like, I was mad at the time. I'm not really mad anymore, but I was very mad I was angry at the time. I was just oh, like I was mad at the time, and then he was like, "Oh my, like what happened?" Da da da, and then yeah, basically, the UFC staff came over and they're like, "You want to press charges?" And at the time, like after I calmed down a little, I was like, "Nah, it's whatever. It is what it is. Like, nah, I don't want to press charges." But at like Zombie's team and his wife were like, "No, we can't let him get away with this," you know. And so they're like, "You got to press charges." So yeah, I mean, I spoke to the police, um, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like, we'll see how this plays out to see if I actually go through pressing charges or not. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, so where does that stand right now? It's up to you as far as whether or not you're going to go through with it, or you did in fact press charges.
No, no. So I think they filed a report, and
Okay,
then I think it's up to me whether I go through with it or not. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So yeah, I mean, I don't. People are like, "Are you gonna sue him?" Like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to take this dude's money, or I don't like. I don't want him to go to jail or anything like that. I don't wish nothing bad about him, but it was just really weird. Like, I have no other way to put it. Like, it's just I don't know what he's thinking. Like, he needs to get his act together. Like real talk. Like that was reminiscent of, and not to throw shade at Conor McGregor, but it was like literally like how when Conor punched the old dude at the pub, like that didn't do anything. Like it was literally like one of those situations. Like I was literally like jet lag spacing out, like, and then he was like, "Hey dog, are you Jay Park?" Like on some like very high school type energy. It was weird.
Did you see him the rest of the night at all?
No, no, I did not.
Okay.
Like you know, I would have never thought like of course he like threatened me in the comments and whatever, but I was literally the translator. Like I didn't know that he was gonna like wait till Zombie left and he was plotting and scheming like to come and do something to me. I went to the fight, UFC 248, because Zombie was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go. Like, I know you're going to LA for some meetings. Do you want to come and watch the fights?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, Brian Ortega is gonna be there." I was like, "All right, cool." Like, I whatever. I didn't really pay no mind to it. Like, because I wasn't like, "Oh my God, is he gonna do something to me?" Da da da. Because I felt like I really did nothing wrong. I literally
Hmm.
was actually trying to help. In some ways, I'm actually trying to help him. Like, you know, to bring more attention to the featherweight division, to the fights. Like the more attention this gets, the bigger the bag gets, the more money you get. So what are you mad about?
Hmm.
So I didn't know he was gonna like actually try to like cause physical harm to me. A non-fighter. Like I'm a singer, bro. I weigh 143 pounds. Like I'm like 40 pounds lighter than this dude. Like he's the UFC number 2 guy in the world. What are you doing? Like it doesn't make you look tough. It was not. It was just weird. It was very, very weird.
What was Zombie's reaction when you told him when he came back to the seat?
he was just like, man, he was just mad. He was just like after a while, like everybody around me is more mad than I am. Like I right now, I'm just like, I have bigger things to worry about than I have a lot of responsibility. I have a lot of people I need to care for. I have a lot of businesses I need to take care of, tend to. So I'm not worried about some UFC guys' feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's just not one of my priorities. But Zombie was very mad. He was just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he would do that." He's what is he like? Is he just like trying to be like a thug, or what is he like? What is he trying to do? It's like it was not professional at all. I don't know. It was just the weirdest situation. Like if he was doing it for attention, I could understand. Okay, that's cool. Like it worked. But if you're gonna do it for attention, if you guys were plotting this for attention, have your manager film it and put up the footage. Like that, like it happened so quickly, nobody could even take video. So
Wow. Yeah, very, very unfortunate. And again, reached out to him to get his side, but he did not get back to me. I'm just curious. One thing that was just brought up a lot in the aftermath of this was the fact that Zombie went to the bathroom when it happened. Do you get the
yeah.
feeling that he waited for that, or was it just bad timing on your part that Zombie wasn't there?
Well, so what I heard from Zombies, one of other Zombies managers, Jason, he told me that like him and like Brian and his manager were like looking at me, like looking at me for like staring me down or whatever. Again, I was not paying it no mind because I would never in a million years think that like because I'm not like a trash talker. I'm not a disrespectful dude. Like I respect all the fighters. Like I have the highest respect for all the fighters. Like they put their lives on the line for their families and for our entertainment. So I would have never thought in a million years that someone would like a fighter would come attack me. So yeah, like I guess apparently like that's what one of his managers said. He's like, yo, he definitely waited till Zombie went to the bathroom to come and attack me, basically.
Hmm. So just to be very clear, as of right now, you have not pressed charges, and you're still deciding on whether or not you're going to continue. Because I think there was a tweet last night from Jason, which kind of implied that charges had already been, filed on your behalf. But just to be clear, you have not done that and are still deciding whether or not you are going to, right?
No, yeah. So I don't. To be honest, I don't know the process. Like I haven't really spoke to the police like that. I don't know the process of like if I speak to the police if they file the charges or whatever. I don't know, but they filed a report, and then yeah, I guess from what I've heard, it's up to us whether we go through it or not. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. If he's like, oh yeah, like I slapped you, bro, like blah, 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 like then maybe, like, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
Okay. Right now, are you leaning in one direction or the other, or you're just kind of indifferent at the moment?
Nah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know where how he's feeling right now. Like, if it was just literally, if it was just for attention, then to be honest, then it's good. Like, all right, cool. Like, I'll take it on the chin for Zombie. Like, it builds up the fight, cool. But if he's really just mad about the translation, I don't know. It just he needs to reassess his life. Like, that's not it. It's just not it. It's just yeah, he needs to reassess his life. I'm sure that he has like I do. I have a lot of people right now that are just very mad that like that look up to me or that I need to put on for. I'm sure he has the same. Like I've seen him at the open workouts. Bring his little brother up, and I thought that was cool. Like I really had respect for the dude, and I'm sure he has a lot of people that he's representing that he puts on for that he needs to represent right, and that right there was not a good representation of himself or his people. Like he needs to, like he needs to play chess, not checkers. Like what if I had like people with me and he would have got injured, then he wouldn't be able to fight, and that's not good on his part. Or what if he loses endorsements on this like attack or whatever? Like it's not good on his part. I don't wish this dude any like bad harm or whatever. Like I don't want anybody to do anything malicious on my behalf. Yeah, I mean, if it builds up the fight and him and Zombie end up fighting, That's cool. It's still Team Zombie. I'm wearing the Zombie hoodie right there. It's still Team Zombie all day. I think Zombie will finish him maybe in like the third round. So
Um, Maybe on a positive note, let's end on this. Was that your first UFC event that you went to, or did you go to Zombie's last fight in December?
no. So I went to the one in Denver when he fought Yair.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then I also went to the one when he fought Edgar.
All right.
So
So
yeah, I mean,
old hat for
yeah.
you.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, after I started working with Zombie. Of course, I go to support him, and when I post stuff on my Instagram about Zombie, like congratulating on his win or whatever, I'm still like speedy recovery Moicano or speedy recovery Frankie Edgar, because I have a lot of respect for these guys, man. I really do, and so it was just very disappointing just for that to happen, and for like that dude to do that, because I was low key like a fan, and I was like rooting for him.
Mm.
Like not against Zombie, but just like in life, I guess.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, I could tell you're a very genuine fan. You're a big fan of the sport, and you never want to be involved in something like that. I kind of feel like now, they have a history. I would imagine the team wants this fight now. I don't want you to speak on Zombie's behalf, but I would imagine that he wants to kind of fight him now more so than ever.
Well, I mean, of course, Zombie wants the title shot,
Yeah.
and I think it's well deserved, because who else has the performances like Zombie, and he's been doing this for a while, and I think right now he's at his peak. So I think he wants a title fight. I want him to get a title fight. But if not, if they do that Volkanovski Holloway rematch, then yeah, of course, like Ortega's the number 2 guy, Zombie's number 4. They should run that, and that should be like the number 1 contender match.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that his eye surgery was a success. Right, he's okay after that.
Yes, it's he said he has some stitches in his eye, and it feels like there's sand in there, but he says he could see very clearly now. So
Okay, that's great to hear. Jay, I really appreciate you doing this. I know it wasn't a very fun evening, or at least didn't turn out to be a fun evening for you and the team, but I appreciate you coming on and telling your side of the story. Obviously, a lot of intrigue and interest in this, and I've started to listen to a lot of your music. I like it, my man. I'm a fan. I enjoy
I
your product, so keep it up.
I I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Brian Ortega, for getting me on the Ariel Helani show, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.